lots of positives, negatives. What did you like out there today?
Yeah, there's plenty to like. Really happy with some of the passages to play, particularly from an offensive point of view. Felt like at times 90% of our play was really good, and we just didn't finish off inside 50. Left a few goals out there. Defensively, for the first 3 quarters, I thought we held up really well. Probably just ran out of a little bit of legs towards the end there. Just played the 22 players, obviously, today, and then brought a few on late. But with the conditions out there today, it was probably looked a little bit sloppy from the sides with the fundamental side of the game were probably just a little bit off. But that's what you get with this time of year. Come up against new opposition, probably the heat of the game, the pressure goes up a little bit, and we probably just didn't handle that as best we would have liked. But when we did in patches, we thought that we played some pretty good footy.
Do you feel like you laid the pressure pretty well?
Yeah, I actually think that was probably one of the more positives of our game, that we were able to get at the opposition at times and turn the footy over. And then, as I said, we probably just weren't able to go back the other way and finish our work. But yeah, where we're at a pretty good spot where 80% of our game looked like it was in some good spots, and the stuff that we need to just sharpen up will probably come with just more time under pressure and some more fundamental stuff. But relatively pleased.
What does need work?
Definitely just our fundamentals. Just gave up some easy goals with just handballs that missed targets, ground balls that just weren't quite taken. And as we fatigued, our skills under fatigue, just to miss those easy targets at times, just put our defence under a little bit too much pressure. But we feel like that's stuff that'll hopefully sort itself out pretty quickly.
Fordon looks a bit different when you've got a veteran in Jack Darling there. How do you assess him, and how have you assessed his summer?
Yeah, his summer's been great. We obviously know the player that he's been over his career, and he'll probably get judged a fair bit from the outside on the amount of goals he kicks. And I'm sure he'll have games where he does kick goals, but what he's able to do from a leadership point of view, and particularly for the pressure he takes off Larks by his ability to get the ball to ground, he just never gets outmarked. 1 and 2 in the air, he'll get it to ground no matter what. And then you probably saw some of his follow-up work was good at ground level today. And yeah, inside the club, we value him greatly for what he does, for stuff that probably doesn't get seen as much on the highlights tapes, but we feel like he's had a great impact on our footy club so far.
Caleb Daniel off half-back looked very sharp as well.
He's pretty handy, isn't he? Yeah, clearly something that we've been looking to add to our team is some ball users off half-back. In the years gone past, we've used McKercher, Sheasel, players that we think will always end up as midfield forward players, but to be able to have a player like him just to have the composure down back to just be able to set you up. We're talking about us needing to get our fundamentals better, and you're bringing a bloke like that who just lifts the standards so much already. And you saw it out there today. He always looks like he's got time and space with the ball in hand.
What do you make of Luke Barker's first game for the club?
Yeah, he's doing some really good stuff, and he's in a really similar to Jack Darling in terms of he'll have some really good games for us and impact the scoreboard, and he'll impact in and around the footy with his hard body, but his leadership and his ability to make the guys around him play better. When he walks into the midfield, the blokes like Tom Power, Will Phillips, Colby McKercher, Harry Sheasel, they just walk a bit taller, and also takes a little bit of pressure off LDU to have to be the main man in there. So I think he's building really nicely into round 1.
And the first glimpse of Sullivan today in the colours. Just talk us through what you've seen across the last few months and his impact today.
Yeah, we managed Finn, so took him off at 3/4 time. He's done a power of work over the pre-season, hasn't missed a session. So we just want to get him cherry ripe because we think he's going to be a really good player for a really long time for us. Mainly been out on the wing for this pre-season for us. He's got a great running capabilities. He's a great mark overhead for his size, and we probably didn't see it as much today, but his hands and his awareness in traffic is really elite and sets his teammates up. So he's had a faultless summer, and we can't wait for him to eventually. He'll like the other guys we've seen. And as you've seen, we've got a lot of midfielders that want to get time in there. So he's had to bide his time on the wing a little bit as well. But as the year goes on, we'll start to see him float a little bit more through that midfield role where he'll really come into his own.
You've had so many issues with your key defenders across the last 18 to 24 months. You must have a lot of belief going into round 1 that you've got Griffin Logue up and going. Charlie Comben has become that shoulder issue, and Arden Cause on the track. It gives you a lot of stability. Yeah,
that's the first time we've had all 3 play together this pre-season. They've been fit and good, but Corey unfortunately had a little operation pre-Christmas just on a finger, so he's been able to do the work, but that's the first time he's actually been able to play with the other 2. And yeah, I thought they were really good today, particularly Core. I thought he was, first game back, he was really aggressive with his body work, took some intercept marks, and we know how good a player Charlie Comben can be, and Core probably allows Griff and Comben to play their game a little bit more and lock down on the best defender. And yeah, I thought the aerial stuff today was really good.
Everything all right with Jai Simkin? He was obviously laid out today.
Yeah, we wanted to give Jai the chance to decide if he wanted to play or not. Obviously, big trip last week to Perth. Obviously played really well. Flew back in, a couple of days of sort of just getting him back into the thing, and he basically got to this morning and said, "Look, I'm not 100% right. I'm still feeling a little bit fatigued, and the conditions out there is going to be a pretty hot day." So he was going to play a half maximum anyway. So we just thought, why risk it? Let's get him cherry ripe for next week and get a full game into him there.
Back on Sullivan, is he how close is he to playing round one? Is he really in the mix there?
Yeah, I think if you looked at the guys we managed today, you've got Cherry, I reckon he'll be there round one, Larky, LDU, and Finn O'Sullivan, so I reckon he's going to be right around the mark.
Creates a bit of a selection squeeze in the midfield, bringing Jai Simpkin back in. Have you seen this much competition for that spot in your time at the club as a coach?
Nah, the midfield depth we've got at the moment, clearly it's been well noted, the draft strategy we've gone through the last 3 years with bringing midfielders in, but what we're really pleased with is our midfielders are able to play other positions as well. So you would have seen at times today, Sheasel out of the goal square, Sheasel at half back, Parker out of the goal square, LDU out of the goal square, McKercher on a wing, McKercher forward, Power sort of flipping between wing and forward and back as well. So we feel like we've got a really good mix of guys who can just pop out to different positions and play those roles. So the more quality we can get in and around that footy, we feel like, we're going to be in a really good spot. We've got to fit the captain back in. I think he'll get his way back in at some stage. But where that is, it'll be in through that midfield forward flank roles. And the great thing is, whoever misses out is probably going to be a little bit stiff at this stage.